Okay, so my specialisms project, what I would like to do is to create a time lapse of the stars, or an astro time lapse. I want to do this because I've always found time lapse photography really, really interesting. I think it can be so stunningly beautiful as well. I've got to be honest, probably from the moment I saw Han Solo jump into hyperspace with Chewie on the Millennium Falcon when I was about 6 years old, I've been pretty obsessed with the stars as well. So I think some of the coolest time-lapse photography that you can see is by a guy called Tom Lowe, not the guy who I'm on the course with, but he's a professional photographer. And some of his work is really, really amazing. Here's an example. So that is the kind of thing that I'm looking to create, that whole feeling of the stars moving around the Earth, so you can really see the Earth turn. So where am I going to do this? Obviously it's pretty important that I get somewhere where there's zero light pollution. Now I was originally thinking about doing this in the Forest of Dean. That was right up until the point where my girlfriend reminded me that I'd be out in the forest alone at night, and it's an eerie place. So as I don't want to be attacked by wild foresters or wild boar, I've gone for a much more comfortable option, which is down by a pub just outside of Tewkesbury in a place called Lower Lode. So this pub is it's out in the middle of nowhere. The light pollution is very, very low, so I'm hoping that on a clear night I should be able to get some pretty nice shots of the stars. Also, it's got the added bonus, obviously, being right next to a pub with a nice big log fire, so I can set up the camera, leave it, keep going checking it periodically, and in the meantime I can be sat in the bar with a nice pint of ale next to a roaring fire, which sounds ace. So what am I going to use to do this? What I have decided after looking through several websites and stuff, I'm going to have to use my 60D as the camera, which is fine. Takes very good quality photos as far as I'm concerned anyway. The lens that I will use will be the Canon 70-200 f2.8. It's just a really meaty lens. It's very cinematic, and with the 2.8 f-stop, I'll really be letting in as much light as I possibly can. So I'll just use that. That'll literally be my equipment. It'll be lens, camera, tripod, field. Now I think the best way, as I briefly touched on, will be using a wide an aperture as possible to let as much light in as we can. From what I've seen, exposures of around 30 seconds seems to be the go. So that's what I'll be using. And then as far as ISO settings go, what I'm going to try and capture on is around ISO setting 640. I think any higher than that I'll probably get a lot of noise that will be hard for me to filter out. Also, I'll be shooting on RAW. I think just by doing that I'm just going to get as much information as I can into the frame. I'll shoot in large RAW as well, which is going to limit the amount of photos I can take on my 16 gig card. But I think really when it comes to post-production for this, it will really give me an added benefit. Okay, so also originally what I was thinking is that I will try and get a 30-second time lapse up together. However, I realised there's probably not enough hours in the night, and the pub won't stay long enough open for me, for me to do that. So what I'm going to concentrate on is trying to get a really decent quality video, between 10 and 20 seconds, somewhere between that ballpark. Really, it will be governed by on the night when I take my first photo. I'm just going to have to see how much that is going to be, how much memory that's going to be using up. I think JPEGs take in the region of about 7 or 8 megabytes, something like that. And some test shots that I've done with RAW take up about 37. So the difference in memory is massive, so that might be a limiting factor. And then when it comes to post-production, what I'm going to try and do with this video is have a couple of different versions. So what I will do is one with no processing at all, literally just the photos merged together in a time lapse, to see what the original unedited, untouched up outcome looks like. I'd then like to try one using a bit of Photoshop and Lightroom technique to tidy everything up. If there's any camera movement, then try and sort that out with a bit of warp stabilization. So we'll have a raw unedited version, a polished version, and then what I'm going to really try and do, if I can, I've got no idea if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try and do a star trail as well. So using using After Effects, I'm pretty sure there's a way I can get the stars to bleed around the sky as they move. So those are going to be the 3 outcomes that I try and produce, and I'm really excited to get out and start shooting stuff like this, because I've done time lapse before in a very sort of basic form, just up on the rooftops in Cheltenham, doing about sort of 10-15 second videos of sky. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a challenge with the length of exposure for each shot, and having one night to get it right. It's going to be interesting to see how it works out. So I will see you on the 12th, and really excited and a little bit nervous about showing you what I've done. Thank you very much.